Well, hello, teachers, students. Welcome. If it's morning, if it's afternoon, if it's evening, who knows when you might be watching this, but we are so glad that you found us. We're in for a treat. We are working with Google Canada. We are working with Chromebooks. What could be better? We have two amazing people that you're going to meet in a moment who are going to walk you all through that awesome device that's in front of you. But before we get to that, let's make sure we take that moment to recognize this land that we are on. If you've been to a workshop of ours before, you've seen this map before, you can find this map at native-land.ca. So much information that you can learn about those cultures around you. Here, I'm in Calgary. There's the Blackfoot, the Siksika, the Piikani, the Kainai, Stoney Nakoda, the Métis, just such rich cultures. We just have to stop and acknowledge and thank for these beautiful lands around us. Well, with that, official introductions. We're going to introduce this gal below me in just a moment, but we're going to start. I'm Michelle, and with the Cobblestone Collective, have such pleasure to be able to work alongside Google. So happy to be with you guys. Couple housekeeping items. Teachers, you might find this session goes a little bit quick today. Our two guests get pretty excited about Chromebooks, and so if you ever need to pause at any point, you just go right ahead. We will be here when you get back. Students, some of you already know this, but you are able to communicate with us. You'll see a link right now on the screen, thecc.page/answers. Go ahead, open up a new tab, students. Type that into your computer, thecc.page/answers. Let us know what's your first name and tell us where are you joining us from. All right, with that, now we get to the good stuff. We get to the introductions. We have Sandy Curry is here. You might recognize me and Sandy from some awesome CS First workshops. Hopefully that your teacher has you signed up for coming up. But with that, Sandy, welcome.
Well, hello, Michelle, educators and students. Maybe we've seen you this year already. Maybe it was last year. Regardless, we're so excited to be here with you today. I think that understanding your Chromebook and understanding some of the capacity and the potential of this device that you have in front of you is a perfect way for us to get started with this school year. And some of you might say, oh, I know how to do it all. The two guys that we have joining us, I think everybody's going to take at least one new thing away from them, and that's our hope. Quite selfishly, it's one of the reasons that I love this session is because I always get to learn a little bit more. So like Michelle said, super hoping that you have found, educators, those registration links for joining us for some of our other CS First sessions, perhaps for Hour of Code, maybe Digital Literacy Awareness Week. We have some fun Music Mondays coming up, lots of great stuff throughout the year, all for free, all with Googlers joining you. And so with that, I think that's enough from me. I'm in a second, right, Michelle? I'm going to go into the back of the broadcast studio.
We will. Hold tight. Let's wait, and you'll get to meet Darren and Manjit. But before we get to meet Darren and Manjit, students, in case you missed it, there's that link on how you can talk to us. Already, we have Alex saying hello. Hello, Alex. Susan is here from London, Ontario. Darius is here. Jeremy is here. Suha is in Quebec. Awesome to have Quebec here. Guess what, Sandy? We also have Dina from Klamath Falls in Oregon. Welcome, Dina. Kay is here, Lake of Two Mountains. Carissa is here. Wow. Okay. Students have found that form. Sandy, do you see it there? Do we have any more shout outs?
We have Ella, Grace, Jackson, Dan. We have St. Mary's, Point Perry, we got a couple from Point Perry. We've got Kitchener. Hello there, Toronto. Eamon joining us from Toronto. Shree says hi. Lots of folks joining in on the fun for today, Michelle. And so with that, do you think, let's bring out those guests. Who do we have first?
Bring them out. All right, you guys. The moment you've all been waiting for.
And Manjit,
We have
wave.
Hello.
All right.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm pumped to be here, first of all. My name is Manjit Singh Batu, and I'm actually from the Google side of things. I'm the National Training Manager for the entire country of Canada. You know what I mean? The true north, strong and free. Okay, so yeah, I'm actually from Orangeville, Ontario. It's a small little town. I've been here my whole life, but just like Canada, you travel anywhere in Canada, everywhere feels like a small town, and that's just the kind of vibe that we all bring together. And I absolutely love it. Sandy and Michelle earlier were saying it's like for selfish reasons that they love the session. Well, it's a two-sided coin. I absolutely love it as well. I always have a ton of fun, and even though I'm the training manager for Chromebooks, I still learn a thing or two from my buddy Darren, who I'm going to pass over to right now to allow him to introduce himself.
Hey, yeah, I'm Darren Malte, and I work with students and teachers in Alberta, and I've probably been already in, I don't know, 50 classes this year. It's been busy. So I work with hundreds of students. So I get to see all the time what students can do. I really like that Mr. Rose put that he's a grade 4 or 5 class. I like to know what grade level we're dealing with when you're doing this. Oh, so like Nayeli, Ottawa, grade 4. I love that. That's so great. And Sadie's back with us. Manjit, it's so awesome to be here with you. All these things that I do with Chromebooks, it's working with students, it's seeing what they do and what they can do, and just getting creative and just becoming really familiar with it. So that's pretty awesome.
I use them from day in and day out for work. Primarily, I think I've got 4 Chromebooks, folks. I actually own 4 Chromebooks. It's crazy. It's becoming a bad habit. I'm going to need intervention soon. But the truth is, I use them for work. I've got tons and tons of tabs open on my other computers there. And for education sides of things, it's always nice to see something familiar. I'm in absolute love with them. I think they're super productive. And like I said, though, even though I use it day in and day out, I still learn a thing or two. So I'm happy to be today's guinea pig.
I was in a class last week and I said, I've been using a Chromebook for 12 years, and it was a grade 4 class. I'm like, and you guys are only, I've been using this longer than you've been alive. Yeah, I know.
All right, you guys. Well, Darren, Manjit, we're going to let you guys take control of this whole show. Sandy and I are going to go pop backstage and be sure we're testing out our Chromebooks on our end. But with that, I'm going to leave it to you guys. Have a fabulous session, everyone.
Thanks so much. Talk soon. Hey, Darren, before we continue, I just have to say a legal disclaimer here. My boy Dan said holla, and it's not legal if we don't say holla back. We have to holla back. So holla back to you, Dan. Thank you for that. And that's some really cool comments here. And yeah, they're coming in fast, man. This is great to see all these people, all these little the grades there and everything there too. But yeah, on this, while you folks all have this form open here, I was wondering if you can all do me a favor. Okay, so just going to take 20 seconds of your time. Let's be honest with each other, because honesty is always the best policy, right, Darren? It's the best policy, right? Okay, it is the best policy. Okay, good. Just confirming. But just on a scale of 1 to 10, just type in the chat there, like in the form response there. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel with your knowledge on Chromebooks? And be honest, because even though I work with them and I train with them, I can't say that I'm a 10 out of 10. I'd say I'm maybe a 9, maybe an 8, right? Feel confident. If you're like a 1, put down a 1. If you're a 2, put down a 2. But if it's between 1 and 10, so 1 being the least and 10 being the greatest, let me know what your confidence of Chromebooks. We'll ask this question again a little bit later to see if we learned anything. But I'd love to hear your responses on that. Look at this. I'm seeing a lot of people coming in. A lot of people saying, wow, some people are 10, Darren. Some people are 10. So we're going to have to teach them some
things. It looks like they're super confident.
Yeah, there's some crazy knowledge there. Elizabeth, Divine, they're saying 10. Brody's 10. Faith is saying 10 too. Look at this. That's some good solid numbers. But okay, all right, that's actually fantastic. But we'll continue on, and then I'll ask you that question again.
Fantastic. Well, so we're gonna look at some ways of using your Chromebook. Maybe, every session, if you can take away 2, 3, 4 things, maybe even just one thing. Even if you're very confident, if you can get just one thing that you'll learn, maybe that's an awesome shortcut. Then it's worth it, I think, to me. So we're gonna look at some ways you can make using your Chromebook easier, personalizing a little bit, and some awesome shortcuts, because there are some great ones that we can use. I like Emily already knows the emojis. So there is an emoji shortcut, and we're going to learn that one too today. So let's get going. Manjit, do you want to share your screen, and let's get your Chromebook?
For sure. Whoa, look at that. Crazy. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'll minimize everything here. I've got carte blanche here for you. So let me know what I'm supposed to do.
Fantastic. Do you want to let's just start with like the basic, right click and scrolling. Can you open up just a regular web page and
sure.
Maybe like Wikipedia?
Yeah, I'll just go over here. Like, it's not like I was searching for anything tough, just, cute puppies. Yeah, whatever. Who doesn't do that, right? But there you have it. Okay, so what should I do?
I would like to know, scrolling. They see me scrolling. How good are you at scrolling? Do you know some other ways to scroll? We know, and we always talk first about, the snake bite.
Yeah,
Or,
I do the
finger
snake bite. I go up and down. That's usually what I do for scrolling. Is there anything else here that I should do?
Scrolling. Can any students tell us any other ways you can scroll up and down on a Chromebook? And I bet you I'm going to teach you one that you don't know. So what are some other ways you can scroll up and down? And even in your class, you can pause us for a second and what are some ways you can scroll on a Chromebook? We've got a mouse.
Mouse.
Really.
Arrows. Gavin's saying arrows. You could use the arrows themselves.
Arrow keys.
Okay.
Oh, amazing. Down keys. Yeah.
Down, up, and down keys. Okay.
We got
Sloan's saying use your toes. I don't know how easy it is to do a snake bite with your toes, but Sloan, I commend your confidence with that.
That's impressive. Oh, we got the sidebar. Yeah, the sidebar. So there's 3 ways already. So imagine we got the scrolling up and down.
Okay.
We got our arrow keys, and there's our sidebar.
Okay, so that's my arrow keys, and here's the sidebar. So when I mouse over here, it shows up, huh? Is that it?
Yeah. Some people have a touchscreen Chromebook. Yeah, you got that sidebar there.
Whoa! Look at that, folks! I'm touching my screen. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, and Alex came up with the one that often people don't know. If you press the space bar, it takes you down.
Space bar. Okay. Look at that. Like chunk at a time, eh? Like it takes you down by bit.
Oh, here's one already that they won't know, I bet. If you hold down Shift and the space bar, it takes you back up. So space bar takes you down.
Okay, so space bar takes me down. And then Shift and space bar?
Yeah. And Shift and space bar takes you back up.
I'm a pro now.
Bonus points for Alex and Landon for knowing those two.
Solid.
That is fantastic. All right. So we got that scroll and is there one way that is better or correct?
I don't know. I prefer to just use the snake bite. I just flick it like that's how I read my stuff. You know what I mean? I don't really like
petting a very small sloth. Yeah.
Yeah. I usually just just go through the whole thing. I'm more manual that way. I should be more efficient, I think. But yeah, whatever. I just scroll that way. Am I doing it wrong? Should I be doing it differently?
No, and that's just it. Sometimes I'll have a grade 1 student like, that's not how. And if you know the other ways, that is fantastic. Okay. So scrolling is the way we start with those, those 2 things. But what I really like is getting that right click going. I was in a grade 9 class and they didn't know how to right click. I have a Chromebook. I can't right click. Well, yes, you can. So let's go up in the top. What do you see in the corner of your browser?
On the top right corner, I see
the very top.
I see the X, I see the restore, I see minimize, and then I see the down arrow there too. So
absolutely. So if you click the little square, you can see my actual pet peeve.
Okay.
You ever see this when you click that and people are working like this?
Yes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and they work in a small window. Yeah, you got a big screen here. You should be able to use it, right?
There we go. So yeah, let's make sure we're full screen when we're on the computer, just with that center one. Awesome. And let's just minimize our browser. Minimize is that little underscore kind of button. So students, you hopefully have your browser up and just minimize.
There we go. Okay, so we squashed it. It's down.
Awesome. Now there's a couple ways we can get it back up again, and I'm sure students know this too. If we hit that beach ball down at the bottom,
display it right here. Chrome symbol, the one I'm wearing I'm wearing a beach ball on my uniform. I didn't know that. Okay, so
just like Manjit's tattoo. No,
I can't show you. Anyways,
yeah.
Okay.
So and sometimes when I'm with classes, we just beach ball, make it small, make it back up.
Huh. Look at this Cobblestone Collective. What do you think?
You can press the question mark / to jump back to the search bar. Can we try that? I haven't done that.
Question mark. If I push the question mark, what happens?
I don't know. He said you can jump back to the search bar. Does that work on a Chromebook if you're
done?
That might be a new one
totally
for me.
Look, I scroll down here. Here we go. Hands free. I'm going to touch the question mark button now. Ready? And there we go. Did you see that?
Come on. Amazing.
That's crazy. That's actually, I honestly did not know that. And I feel like a little embarrassed in front of everybody here because I've got the outfit and everything, but I'm like, oh, I don't even know how this works. But you know what? That's okay. Learning is a cool thing. And I just learned that when you hit the question mark button in the browser, just tap it, takes you back to the search bar. That is legit.
I love it when a student shows me something new. That is so great. Okay, let's minimize that one more time.
Sure. Squish. Okay, it's all down.
Yeah. And one thing let's do that snake bite and let's get that right in the center of our screen. Let's make the white box pop.
Okay, there we go. Snake bite. Okay, there's a box.
Yes. Now, I personally always show the shelf just because I use the accessibility. I use it for screenshots. I don't like it when it disappears and
Right.
that. Some people like the shelf on the sides. Personally, I don't like that. But
If you have the shelf on the side like that, that's cool looking, I guess, but it's pretty intense. I feel like it's not really traditional at all, is it?
But if people like that, but I like to always show that shelf. And so let's practice getting that box pop up, and let's use a single finger. Let's get rid of it.
Okay, there we go. Just tap anywhere on the screen. Okay, there we go.
Get rid of it. And now, when we say snake bite, sometimes we get students and when I'm in a class, I hear like they're whacking on, like, but did you know that it works to the conductivity of your finger? So you can really just tap it.
So instead of like clicking the actual button, I just touch 2 fingers on the pad and it will respond. Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so just gently, everyone quiet, please. I need to concentrate on this. And
zero noise.
No, it's actually super handy. I will say that I've done that one a million times. It's super handy to be able to, use your computer without having to slam on the keys and make everything click. Just 2 fingers gently touching it. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point there.
So teachers, you're welcome. Students, just try the sneaky snake bite. We're going to patent that sneaky snake bite.
The sneaky snake bite. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
let's get that clicking. Zero sound in your classes. The white box should be popping up and disappearing with zero noise.
Yeah, try to do it like even when you clear this, like the white box with the snake bite on the thing, and you tap somewhere else, just do 1 finger, tap it again, and you should have no noise. You shouldn't have to like jam your finger down on it. Go easy on the Chromebook, okay? You can take it, but you shouldn't have to make that much noise, right?
Absolutely. Perfect. And while we're here, every class I work with, in my district, students are allowed to change the wallpaper, and we like them to customize. And my only rule, and I should probably get in trouble with this, but my only rule is don't make it ugly.
Right.
Don't make your wallpaper ugly. You're looking at that all the time. So go ahead and let's do that snake bite.
Hang on 1 second. Are you saying that my background is ugly, Darren?
No, your Mac phone, that looks amazing.
Oh, thank you. Because I was just about to say it's a nice pink background. I've got a beard. I'm a strong man, but I like my chocolates and my macarons. Okay, here we go. So I'll right click again or snake bite. Here we go. Okay, and then go what? To set wallpaper and style?
Let's set the wallpaper.
Okay, check it out. Let's do it. Okay, so there's different.
Charlie and Abby, hi at Holy Name. Hi, Isabella and Arsh.
Holy Name of Mary. That's the school. That's lots of shout outs. Okay, you got your shout out.
Holy Mary's in.
Okay, so I've got my wallpaper here, Darren.
Yeah, and you've set yours, and maybe we're just giving students a little bit of time. You can change your wallpaper up. Get it something that's like really nice. I like mine to change.
Yeah? Like what? Automatic or something? Or
there's one that kind of scrolls through.
Interesting. Okay. Let's find if I go through, say, illustrations. All right, let's check out actually I like these compositions. These are some of my favorites because they're so weird looking. You know what I mean?
And there's the change daily button, which I like. I like getting a change. Oh, and Emily says does it all the time.
Does it all the time. So Emily changes the background all the time, keeps things fresh, keeps things different. Cool.
Yes. The other thing I don't like is when it looks, pixelated or it's not a high quality image. Sloan's is a swaggy frog. That's super great. I like custom wallpapers too. Sometimes I create art and I will make that the custom.
I remember, I think last year, actually, you had showed me how to do it. It was really cool because we actually ended up having, I had a PogChamp as my wallpaper. I don't even know. Is that word even said anymore? I mean, is it still trendy? Is it still cool?
I don't know. I was playing Pokemon Go and someone's like, you play Pokemon? I'm like, oh, maybe.
Like, geez. Yeah, everyone still plays it, right? But yeah.
Right. And let us know, like Adelaide did. Adelaide's she's got a bunny, changing the tab styles. So let us know what you changed your wallpaper to if you have something. AJ doesn't like changing it.
He doesn't like changing the wallpaper. I was like, no, wallpaper stays the same.
Static.
Okay. Fair enough.
Consistent.
Fair enough. But I don't know. I like playing around with different colors, and I find that like even the wallpaper itself, like a picture is 1,000 words, right? So if you have like a decent wallpaper or something nice that you want to look at, when you open up your Chromebook and you turn it on, you want to have like a nice picture to look at. And yeah, like Darren was saying, try to find like one with a good quality, like something with a clear, crisp kind of resolution, nothing like too fuzzy, low quality. Make sure it's centered, nice and clean. It's like putting on a poster, right, on your computer. So yeah, I think it's important.
Mr. Rose's class, I think they're getting a little bit of audio lag with us back and forth, maybe. They were just wallpaper and just setting that wallpaper. And some schools don't allow that, and some districts don't. And I get that too. All right. There's our wallpaper. And we just want to get good at that right click. And more importantly, the right click with no sound and the scrolling.
Yeah, right click with no sound, and also figure out where you like to put the dock there. So yeah, my dock is usually hidden. I like to hide it sometimes, but yeah, always show the shelf. You can make sure it's always here. This is the shelf where all your apps and everything, all your browser and everything is open and waiting there. And then yeah, I'm gonna auto hide the shelf. I know Darren likes to keep it there, but like I'm gonna auto hide it. But then yeah, while you're figuring that out, ask yourself: am I a left dock, right dock, or center dock kind of person? I'm going to be at the center there, at the bottom there. I can't do anything else. Maybe if I was holding the Chromebook and it was like a touch Chromebook, maybe then it would be okay. But I got to have my dock at the bottom. I'm just happier with that.
That's great. Okay. We have done scrolling. We have done our right click, our silent right click. We've changed our wallpaper. We've set our shelf. I think we're ready to maybe look at the Chrome browser and look at some of the things that we can do.
For sure. Let's do it. Let me know. You want me to pop open the browser here? Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. There we go. Browser's open.
Boom. I mean, maybe one thing that let's just look at, we can move those tabs around, right? Let's start by moving our tabs. You can drag a tab and just drag it to the left, drag it to the right.
There you go. Look at that. Just click and hold. You should be good to go. Now, I've noticed, Darren, that for this one, I have to kind of like push a little bit firmer, right? Like I have to push down to make sure the Chromebook actually clicks on the mouse pad, right?
And what I really find is a lot of classes, and maybe those people who are super confident do this, they do the one hand kind of click and drag. And I really find with a Chromebook, to really do it properly, you do click with one hand and drag with the other. I find that's the
click with one and drag with the other?
Click, drag, click.
What?
I find it's a really two-hand thing. I mean, I've been on a Chromebook for 10 years, and I just find the click and drag is really the way to go.
That I know this is like click and drag sounds like a not a big deal, but that is a big deal to me. I always do the one-handed kind of like, like when you're driving a car, you put one hand at the window because I'm just so cool. That's how I usually do the click and drag too. And I click and I just drag with one hand. But you're saying that you can actually click, and while my finger's on the actual mouse pad, I just use my other hand to kind of drag it over. And I tried that.
Much better at getting that habit.
It feels like that's crazy. It's the fact that it can recognize multiple fingerprints is pretty nifty. I do like that. Never did that before though.
And I like to do a lot of coding in like CS first and things like that. And when we do, if you click and drag those code blocks, that's just the easy way to do it too. So that really applies to a lot of different things. When I'm in Google Drive and I'm moving files,
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the best way to make sure you don't put it in the wrong folder, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we can move them, we can pin them and mute them and stack them. So let's do some more stuff. You can actually pin that tab so that you never ever close it, right? So can you right click?
Sure. Okay. And I'll just go to pin.
Can you pin that tab?
I think I can. And you know what? I'm gonna pin that tab. Here we go. Tab is pinned. Oh, look at that. It kind of went to the side there, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you can do some other fun things too. Like if you have a video that just pops up and starts playing, you can right click on a tab and you can mute that tab.
Okay, so I'll right click over here and it says mute site.
Mute.
So I've used this actually before for work quite a bit. I use Google Meet and I use Google Chat, and those always ping within my Gmail folder.
Oh, right.
So like I've got Gmail open and I sometimes have it multiple Gmail tabs open. So I might have a whole window with 10 different tabs there, and some of them have my mail open. So when someone pings me once, it pings on all of them. So this mute site thing is actually really cool. It's really important because the mute site says that, okay, cool, you might have a ton of these tabs open. You might have a whole bunch of these Gmails open, but it's going to mute every single one of them. So that is a really good tool there. And I use it often.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it was Carter said that they like to group their tabs. And that's a really cool thing you can do. You can, if you have a whole bunch of tabs open, you can group them, and then it's like that word.
I don't believe you guys. I don't know. I don't believe it. I've never done it. Don't do it. Won't do it. Tell me what am I doing? What am I doing wrong here? How do I do it?
Well, yeah, right there. If you maybe just go to a brand new tab and just you can right click and add it to a group. Add it to a brand new group. Maybe it's
add
like
tab to new group. What?
Study.
Okay, let's name this group. Let's name it BFFs. That's what we're gonna call it. Okay. And the color is going to be yellow, like sunshine. Okay, there we go. And then what? Then what do I do?
Well, no, anything else that you open, you can add it to that group, and it kind of stays open in that little group where you're working.
So if I open up like another tab.
We weren't even going to talk about that, but that's pretty great. Hi, Isabella from Mrs. Becker's class.
So if I went back over here to my pin tab, or if I went over here to a new tab, I can just add that to the group. Add tab to the group, BFFs. And there we go. That's yellow too. Look at that. They both have this sweet yellow outline to it. That's kind of cool.
And I love Chrome like shortcuts. That's one of my favorite things ever. So again, that right click is super powerful. We are right clicking on a tab just to kind of summarize what we've done, and muting, pinning. So, and then can you get your group back when you shut down the computer? I think the groups might not stay. You might be able to go, sorry, Miss Goodhay, you might be able to go in your history and open that group back up.
Sometimes I do updates on my Chromebook, and I literally have like 50 to, I'm ashamed to say it, I sometimes have like 80 tabs open in a whole bunch of different windows. There are a lot of folders for me to go through, right? I put them in different groups. I have grouped them before. Like, so when I go to a window, I like one to be one project and another window to be another project. I have noticed that when my Chromebook resets, and it says, hey, you restored, did you want to restore all your tabs? I say, yeah, sure. So I can go to history and I can restore the tabs from there. And it does generally, in my opinion, if I recall correctly, it does remember the actual groups. So
yeah. If you go Control H, is it going to show you some groups right now? Just out of curiosity. I love that the questions are leading us a little bit into some different learning.
Control H? There's my puppies there.
I don't, tabs from the devices. I don't see the group tab.
It might not have that, no. Let's see.
I was just curious. Hi from St. Albert. What? That's my location. That's pretty close. I can see St. Albert almost from here. Okay.
There's a lot of folks from St. Albert that just all jumping in.
Wow. So that right click, how powerful is that? Now, I love shortcuts. Angie, before I do that, do you ever have something where you want to read something and you want to also be working on, say, like a doc?
Yeah.
So maybe let's open another tab.
Okay.
And I like to rip that tab off and let it kind of float.
Okay, so just drag it, grab it. And just, okay, so now it's own thing. Okay.
And then what I like to do is Alt and the little square bracket next to the letter P.
Okay.
And when you press that, you put that Alt and you go to the other side. So you can have your tab go and shoot over to the other side.
So Alt square bracket.
Yeah.
Does it work for both sides? Oh, it does. Yeah. I can just switch between different sides. Look at that.
So that's pretty handy. Like, let's say you're doing some research in class and you're going onto a site about whatever, and then you have your Google Doc on the other side. Well, yeah.
Okay, so I was looking at volcanoes here. Okay, cool.
Perfect.
And then over here,
Alt, other direction, the other square bracket.
Let's go here. So if this whole window is open here right now, and I just did Alt and that, so okay, so it even takes my tabs. The whole window that I was working on squishes to one side, and then I've got my volcano stuff. So I can actually do dual screening without having to really tinker with too much, just by using Alt and those little square tabs next to P.
Absolutely.
Super handy.
Oh, they're from Lois Hull Elementary School. That's so awesome. Lois Hull was one of our lieutenant governors in Alberta, and awesome gardener, and that's super great. So there you go. Got your tabs side by side. Now, maybe one last little tab kind of thing. Do you ever accidentally close your tabs? Like you're clicking and you have your doc open. And I know for students, they've gone to Google Classroom, they've opened something up, they have all these things. So if you close that tab by accident.
So if I just went over here and had a new tab and I just closed it back. Okay, let's close down this one here, volcano, right there.
Yeah.
Close volcano.
Control Shift T.
Control Shift T, you're saying. Okay, so Control Shift T. Here we go.
Oh, boom, and it opens back up.
It opened the whole tab in the whole window.
Teachers, this is like, of all the shortcuts, if you take one thing away, Control Shift T. When you open something up, you close it back down.
Shift T. Okay. I'm more of a coffee guy, but I'll take the tea, no problem. Okay, so that's actually really handy. I usually just go through history myself. I go Control H and I'll dig through my history, but Control Shift T will open the tab back up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think if you got a lot of tabs, what happens, and I'll show everyone right now, it happens to me all the time here too. If we keep opening up all these tabs, you'll see at the top there, each tab, it starts to get smaller, and smaller. Right? And so I think what happens is eventually, if you have enough tabs open, you're not even going to be able to see the name of the tab anymore unless you hover over it. And then you have just like this big X in the middle. So yes, I've accidentally closed tabs down all the time because I run out of space. So Control Shift T is a lifesaver. That's a great tab.
A lot with young students. I work with grade 1 all the way to grade 12. So sometimes those young students, they'll go to Classroom and they'll have their slides open and they'll accidentally close them and then have to go back to Classroom. Oh, don't show that one.
Oh, yeah.
And so we want to make sure that Control Shift T, they can open that right back up, right?
Control Shift T. Very handy. Very good.
Yeah. That's one of the best shortcuts ever. This is so great. Some people doing high contrast mode, which high contrast mode is one of those things it's for people who are vision impaired, right? Esther's got the sign out thing. I'm not sure if I'll say that one out loud, but yeah, there's a very quick way to sign out of your Chromebook.
Look at this. Alex is saying if I double click the top of my window, not the tab icon, so just like this blank bar over here without any of the tabs, if I double click it, I can full screen and unfull screen my windows. Let's try that. Ready? Let's see, Alex, if you're right. So double tap it. Look at that. You're right. And then double tap it again. And there we have it. So full screen.
Go to your last view. Try. Can you use the full screen button at the top row of your Chromebook?
So what, like
the full screen key that's up at the top of your Chromebook next to refresh.
Next to okay, I see. Yes, that button here. So when I do that, I think it does something maybe a little bit differently. Ready? Here we go. It actually goes like full screen. It actually it hides everything, and that's like a really, really good kind of way to do presentations. Or if I was reading something and I didn't want to like see all this other stuff around the screen there, I can hide everything and just focus what's on the actual main media there. So that's a really good point too. That key. Chromebooks are really good that way because they've got a ton of really special keys on them, right? So that key, which is like next to the little refresh key. Don't touch the refresh key right now because we're on a call, right? But like that actual key beside it, yeah, that's a good one. So if we tap that again, it kind of brings everything back down. That's really
Sometimes when I get so many windows open, I use Control W. Like you don't have to know all these shortcuts, but if there is one shortcut, that Control Shift T, that is amazing. But there's also Control Alt question mark.
Control Alt question mark.
Yeah. So if you're going, it's too much. There are too many shortcuts. You're doing way too many. Control Alt question mark. This is one every teacher should know because if you're going, my screens are sideways, or it's got the magnifier on, or whatever it is, Control Alt question mark or slash gives you every shortcut, and you can even search.
Now, Darren, did you just give me a shortcut for shortcuts? Is that what you just did right now? Is that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that irony, folks? Fellas, is it irony when Darren gives me a shortcut?
Like Inception. So, and it might seem like we're doing like a million things, but really just the right click. It's, being able to drag those tabs, to right click and find the power of being able to pin and to mute and to Control Shift T reopen. That's super awesome. What I really liked is for you and for students too, can you find the shortcut that would bring up or make disappear our bookmarks bar? Can you search in there and can you find the bookmark shortcut?
Okay, there we go. I see it. But let's see here. Everyone loves a shortcut for shortcuts. That's what Ryan was saying. You're right, Ryan. Everyone does love that shortcut for shortcuts. What was that? The shortcut shortcut again? It was Control Alt question mark.
And it's really easy on a Chromebook because guess what? You just snake bite Control Alt and then press question mark.
Yeah, Control Alt are next to each other, and the question mark's like I got a question and I don't know how to use the buttons. And so when you do that, yes. So remember that, folks. Control Alt snake bite on the left-hand side of the mouse pad, and then the question mark button because we got a question. We want to know something. So there you have it. Yeah, so look at this. I opened up I typed in browser bookmarks here. What am I looking for, Darren?
So show or hide bookmarks bar. You found it there. Control Shift. So Alex found it before you.
Oh, what? Great. No way. Alex, I found it before Alex. I found it before anybody here. I was there. Okay, I'm being proud. Alex, first, man. Yeah, it's true. I'll take the silver medal on that one. Fantastic work on already finding it. But yeah,
so just to summarize one more time for everybody, if you're getting lost, Control Alt question mark. That brings up the shortcut, and then you can search for all these kind of things like bookmarks and all those things. Sloan is dying for us to zoom in. Sloan, we're not going to zoom in right now because we're presenting our screens, but I do like zooming sometimes. And we're searching for bookmarks, and you can go ahead and Control Shift B. Let's make our zoom, or not our zoom, our bookmarks disappear and appear.
Okay. Alt Shift B. Alt Shift B.
Oh,
is that what you're looking for? Is it Control Shift B?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Control Shift B. Huh. Maybe that's not working for me. Control.
Or was it?
Let's see.
Looking. You better search your
bookmark. You're right. Focus or highlight on the bookmarks bar. Show or hide the bookmark. Control Shift B. That's right. Okay. Let's try that again. So I'm on the browser here. Control Shift B. Huh. Maybe it doesn't work for mine because I got these tabs.
Maybe it's because it's grouped.
Oh, that's probably right. Yeah, you're right. Let's try that here. Oh, it might not work for me. I think it's because I actually keep these tabs locked in and I jump around a lot. I've actually saved them to that bar. But that's an interesting kind of thing there. Control Shift B, I wonder.
So Manjit, like every class, you seem to have a lot of bookmarks. And so we're going to work just a little bit on just cleaning those up. Teachers, you're welcome. Here's a couple of minutes where if maybe they have Google Classroom from last year, or maybe they have, something different, we can add some new bookmarks and let's get rid of some bookmarks and let's edit our bookmarks up.
Okay. So now what are we going to do? We're going to edit bookmarks, huh?
That's interesting. Aiden says it doesn't work either. If you go up to your 3 dots and show bookmarks bar, are you going to be able to, if you go to bookmarks and show bookmarks bar,
like that?
No, yours are just like locked in.
Mine are locked in. Yeah, it could be because just like when your school has a different kind of permissions and everything, mine is for work. So it's going to be like, yeah, you can't really hide that because you're going to need those bookmarks. So I can't have all the fun in the world. I can't be hiding my bookmarks. Sometimes I need to find them. So they have it. Look, even if we go over here and then I go back to the bookmarks here. Good.
Yeah. You know what's really funny? Colton is talking about the sign out shortcut. And I did that when I was doing a screencast. I'm like, yeah, and then you can sign out. And I'm like, oh, geez.
Oh, no. Yeah, he's trying to get the old, it's kind of like when you're driving, turn off the engine key, turn the key and throw the keys out the window. That's what he was trying to do right there. Clever boy. I like that. But at the same time, not cool because we're in the middle of a call right now. So nobody do that.
So we're going to take a few minutes, as I said, to clean up our bookmarks. So you can't, change this bookmarks bar. Can you add a brand new bookmark?
Yeah, I think I could.
Anyway, maybe it's your Wikipedia entry on cute cats.
Okay, or volcanoes. Okay, so we'll go over here. Volcanoes. Nice. Okay, now what do I do?
My favorite way to bookmark is to grab the little lock and just drag it down just to where all my bookmarks are.
That little lock. This lock right here.
The Omnibox in the browser. No, not that one.
Oh, okay. Over here. Okay, this little lock right next to the actual stuff where it says volcano, Wikipedia. Absolutely. Okay, so I grab that lock, and then where do I go with it?
Just drag it just slightly down.
Slightly down. Oh, and just add it to this actual thing here. Yeah. I see. Now, I've got a ton of tabs already up here, so I think it takes up some of that space.
And that's why I drag it right to the very beginning of all my bookmarks. Maybe just put it right next to your concur.
Okay, let's grab it here and put it right here like that. And there you have it. Volcano is there now.
You can go with the star too, but if you have a lot of tabs like Manjit, it goes right to the bottom. Now, are any of those sites, Manjit, sites that you go to all the time and you know what they are? You don't need the word like concur. I don't know what concur is. Does that mean that's?
It means I agree with you, but yeah, I would
know what it means.
I can get rid of a couple things here. I'm okay with that.
Could you, instead of getting rid of it, could you right click on it?
Okay.
And can you press edit?
Okay, let's go here to edit.
And press backspace.
All right. So I cleared it. Okay.
And then save that.
And then just save it. Okay.
And boom.
What? Okay, so basically what you did was I've got now, instead of the word next to it taking up a good chunk of space, I've actually got just a little symbol of it, right? And I know it's got C for concur, so I get it. Okay. All right. Well, I could do the same for calendars too, couldn't I? Because that's Google Calendar. I know what that looks like.
Your calendar.
Okay, so I go over here and then I go to edit. So I snake bite, gentle snake bite on the bookmark bar. I grab the bookmark. I went to edit. Okay, I'm going to do that right now. And then you just hit backspace. You clear this, what's his name? Just clear the name and then click save. Yeah?
You do it. Olive loves a shortcut.
Look at that. Look at that. That's amazing.
Then you can move them around. And maybe you're like, I don't need volcanoes. I've seen so many weird shortcuts and bookmarks. You can right click on volcanoes and just nuke it, get rid of it.
Yeah, for sure. And I also love it how Ty's was saying, I seem lost. And yeah, you're right, Ty's. I'm totally lost right now. I'm out of my comfort zone because usually what happens is I open up all my windows, I get to work, I know what I'm doing, close the window, go play some soccer, hit the gym, play some video games. But then right now, this actually is actually getting me out of that comfort zone. So this kind of learning thing with Darren is amazing because that's what it is to learn something, right? When you got a teacher showing you something, we might come in thinking that I'm a 10 out of 10 with the knowledge on this. But at the end of the day, I can still learn stuff. I just learned something really cool about, cleaning out my tabs here. So Wikipedia entrance right over here. So if I just go to edit now and hit back like that and save it.
You could actually, do you need that bookmark list? Maybe just get rid of it.
Yeah, truthfully, I'm just going to find it anyway. So how do I get rid of it? What do I do?
Right click
snake
Delete.
bite, and then delete.
And this is something teachers I do at the beginning of every year with pretty much every class. They'll have the previous classroom classes. They will have all kinds of things. And maybe you want to have them bookmark to this year's classroom class. Maybe you want to have them, do all that fun stuff. That is great.
Pretty rad.
You're amazing.
You're amazing. This is a lot of fun, actually. Honestly, I'm walking away with this every single time I do this. I'm like, oh yeah, I get to play around with Chromebook. I honestly walk away learning more things about my Chromebook, and it's going to increase my efficiency. I know that efficiency is not the most fun word, okay, because it just means we have to keep working and working. But the truth is, if I can get my work done faster, cleaner, and more organized, I'll have more time for play. So this is saving me a lot of time for play. I like that.
Esther is asking about Control U, the inspect. And I often show Control U when I'm doing a coding lesson because we talk about coding languages. And Control U shows you
what? Okay,
it shows you the code, the HTML code behind that. So when I'm doing coding, I always do Control U because it pops up and I can talk to students about the coding, the language of the source inspect language. That's the code behind that's telling what the border should look like. It says what picture should be on there, what links it should link to, all that fun stuff. So I love that. So that's cool. Thanks, Esther, for that. Really.
No, it's cool. And so as a manager too, I always tell the people that work with me, I always say, well, I control you. That was a bad joke. If everyone thinks that was a good joke or a bad joke, I just need to know. It was great. I loved it, and I don't care what anyone says. You all laughed, you hated it, and I'm here for that. Okay.
In that case, let's go back to the form, and could you please let us know with an emoji? There's another shortcut that I love: search, shift, space.
Okay.
Search
so
on
the magnifying key or the search glass.
The magnifying search key. Search.
Okay.
Shift, space. That's your emoji search. So give us an emoji in there and give us a thumbs up when you're done, got your bookmarks a little bit organized, and teachers, that's something that, spend a little bit of time on.
So basically it's search, shift, and spacebar, was it?
Yeah. And then you can search for an emoji.
Oh, here they come. Here they come. I got cool guy with glasses.
Put your names in there. If you're the type of student that's putting the same joke over and over, remember the same joke is only funny once, and then it's not funny. I love that. Ray's got a good emoji. There we go. Braden's got it. And
he's got the flag.
And personally, I think emojis say a lot. And we do an emoji writing lesson with Cobblestone that is really fun. Actually, I think we did that together, didn't we? The emoji writing?
We did. We wrote whole stories with emojis before. That was a ton of fun.
And one of the most fun games you can do is kind of like that emoji game. Where you like do titles of books, teachers, or you can do like movies or summarize plot with emojis. So there's a lesson for tomorrow. If you're like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do in my English class. Emoji writing, amazing.
Yeah,
and just like everything.
Hieroglyphics, folks. Forget about hieroglyphics, ancient Egypt, and it was really cool. One of my favorite subjects when I was in public school. But the truth is, emojis are our hieroglyphics from today. So yeah, if you can tell a story just using these symbols, what does it teach us about language, right? So definitely, teachers should definitely jump on that kind of thing.
Yeah, Braden's got it. And I like the fact that it's one of those things. Can you overdo it? Yes. Can you? And like I've been in every class. I've been in hundreds of classrooms, so I've seen every meme, everything. Everyone trying to like rickroll me, and it's fine. But at a certain point, it's good and powerful learning actually using these emojis for writing and for symbolism and all that fun stuff. Like you said, like the modern hieroglyphics. It's so cool. So, and that's great. People are they're putting in the form. I love it.
Yeah, I'm seeing people just put in like the party emotion. Like Leighton's got the party because Leighton brings the party with them. And then we've got stars and glasses saying that's cool. I like that. That's actually from is that Braden? That's Braden. They're saying that. And then DeQuavius has got a ton of emojis laughing with the tongue sticking out. So I hope you
actually did a thing like explain photosynthesis with emojis. And you could do a scientific process with this too. So there's so much you could do with anyway, that's a keyboard shortcut.
He's telling a story with mushrooms, grass, what is those? Clovers, little palm leaves, and are those bowls or eyes? I'm not sure what that is. Pretty cool. Good stuff.
One of the things I like the most, Manjit, about Chromebooks is it is the key to getting us into accessibility. Some students who maybe aren't great writers with a pen, maybe some students, aren't super great with actually typing. That voice to text is really, really, really essential. And I was in a class last week and the kid puts up his hand, Chromebook's open, it's on his desk, he's got Google open. He's like, how do you spell cheetah? And I'm
Okay.
kind of thinking, I could sit there as a teacher and be like, C-H. Or if you open Chrome back up and just go to your Google search.
Okay. There we go.
Or,
And then what?
and then
This
the little voice typing.
little
And then you
microphone
don't
right
have to
here.
enable it. Just click on little microphone.
Okay.
You might get an allow button if it's the first time.
And so what should I say? How do I search for Cheetah?
I think we should do like a Guinness Book of World Records thing, or maybe like the tallest, like the Burj Khalifa. Like, how do you spell Burj Khalifa?
Okay, let's try that. Or yeah, how do you spell Burj Khalifa?
And there we go. There's your allow.
Allow the microphone. Here we go. Ready?
And just search Burj Khalifa.
Say what you're
My
saying.
voice, sorry.
Okay, let's try that again. Okay, everyone, ready? Let's take a second here. Silent keyboard, silent finger types, and now we're gonna actually say something here. So we're gonna say, how do you spell Burj Khalifa? There you go. That is really cool. How quick that was too. That was actually like super responsive, and it corrected the spelling. So
yeah, and cool. I often do I want students to use this instead of. It happens all the time. How do you spell? How do you spell? How do you spell? You have a powerful tool where you can use your voice type. Is it for all the time? No, but maybe we could find a Guinness Book of World Records thing. Could you try using your voice in a new search and click that little microphone and just use a Google like world's biggest pizza or something, something like groundbreaking.
What should we talk about? What should we learn about, folks? Like what does everyone want to know? Like what's the tallest building? We just figured that out, right? What should we do? The biggest pizza, or should we do like I'm trying to think of myself here.
Bet you Sandy has an idea. What should we search?
What should we search? Feel free to say that. Someone saying soccer a million times over. We could talk about that. Let's see here. Pizza. Pizza's not a bad idea then. Okay, let's do pizza then.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the biggest pizza in the world? Whoa, look at that. 6,333 feet and 30.6 inches to be precise. The pizza was made over the course of 40 hours of prep time and 14 hours for multiple rounds of baking. Jeez Louise. More like cheese Louise, am I right? Oh, jeez. There we go. I did it again. Look at that. That's crazy. That's like a state. You remember in like how they used to take the parachutes? Does everyone still do that in gym class? Like the parachute and you sit underneath it? I hope they do. Because that,
fun.
Imagine doing a parachute made out of like pizza, just my imagination. It would be pretty awesome. I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness.
I'd see my dreams, I think.
So that's often how I get students to start using that. So I hope in your classes, teachers and students, that you're, searching something. And remember, these features are for good, not evil. So you can use emojis and like just go crazy, but it's also a great way if you're not sure how to spell something or you're doing some research. Ooh, cool.
I'm just looking at the chat here, and Alex is saying that be delicious. It's true. It does look delicious.
Gumball, and this is legitimately a great thing for when you're doing research. I love using that all the time.
Yeah, that would probably come really handy too if like your hands are busy. If you're using like say multiple keyboards, if you're writing something down and you want to know something real quick here. So you're like,
can you turn it on? And I'm going to say a word.
Sure. Okay. Ready? I'll do it. Okay. I'm going to be quiet. Ready, Darren? Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
According to dictionary.com, anti-disestablishmentarianism
mute your tab, like
specifically refer to people
go.
who oppose withdrawing support.
Woo! I just muted the entire thing. That's kind of cool though, because that actually triggered more like a Google Assist kind of reading it for me. And that was interesting because we didn't ask it a question. We just said the word, right? And then it just find it for you. So that I think is pretty handy with the assistant built in. But let's see this. Anti-disestablishment is opposition to breaking away from established church. Okay. Is that still the biggest word, or there's
there's one. It's well, you could just search it. It's
okay, ready? Let's find out. What is the biggest word in English? Wow. All right, let's try this. Pneumono ultramicroscopic volcanoconiosis. Yes.
There we go, Braden.
There we go. That was fun to say. I'm never going to do that again. But
except a word like that, because it's medical, it actually each part explains, a lot of those different things.
Ultramicroscopic silico volcano. So it's that type of volcano. That's kind of weird because I was literally looking up volcano. Guys, we didn't plan this. We weren't planning this. I didn't look up volcano. And now it turns out that the biggest word in English is actually linked to volcanoes. And I think that's pretty cool because this goes to show that, it was meant to be. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's just the tip of the iceberg for accessibility. I mean, Chromebooks are really, really awesome for all kinds of accessibility. So did you know that you can actually use down on your shelf, there is more accessibility. There are some awesome ones. Bonjour, Madame Boyd Jarvis. Ça fait longtemps. So if you go to your shelf, I'm not sure if you have your accessibility. If you click on your little Wi-Fi where the
little bottom right there, the little hub. Okay.
Yeah. And there's your little accessibility person.
Okay. So I've got that there. Okay. So what do I do with this? What do I do next?
Click on it.
Just click it. Okay. Look at that. Okay. So when I clicked it, I saw a whole bunch of different things here. I've got Chromebook, select to speak, dictation. I think we just use dictation, right? Pretty much.
Well, we use the voice search, but yeah, if you have any tool, that dictation will also work with your voice search, which I just love. If you ever open up a Chromebook, I'm in a class a lot, and they'll open up a Chromebook and it starts speaking to you, or something weird is happening, or it's in high contrast mode, or like Aid really wants us to do high contrast mode, and there it is. We could click it on.
Okay, let's do it. Let's turn on high contrast mode. Ready? This is just for you, Aid. This is for you. Look at that. Reverses the colors there. Interesting.
Boom.
Okay, so we'll turn that off.
Perfect. Oh, Braden's saying if the little accessibility person doesn't exist, you might have to go into your actual search, the little gear that's there, and search in your settings for accessibility for Braden. If that little accessibility person is not there, you have to search accessibility, which I always spell wrong.
I was just about to spell it wrong myself, and it solved it for me. Oh, handy little Chromebook here. So you click that. Okay. So I think that bears repeating there. I'm going to do this all over again. I'm going to turn this off, and I'll do it right from the beginning. So now you might see this as well, everyone. So you don't see the accessibility there. I've had the pleasure of doing accessibility stuff with Chromebook with Darren before. We've had a ton of fun with that, but it was saved still. I kept it up because it's good to know where it is and how it works, right? I actually went around and started to teach people at the office about how that works. So we don't have it here on my dock here. Let's add it. So we clicked on the bottom right here and it opened up this little thing here. And then we see this little gear. So we click that. Okay. And so we spell accessibility, or at least the first few letters, right? ACC. There we go. Just type in ACC. You should be all right. And there you have it. It says accessibility right there. It's got the person doing the T pose. It's intimidating, but don't worry about it. Click the accessibility there. And then it says here, always show accessibility options in the system menu. So I'm going to click that now. Bang. And now if I go down here and click, let's see my little buddy here. Is my friend waiting for me? There he is right there.
Boom.
There we go.
So one that we've turned on for all students in our district is that dictation, which will allow you to not only use your voice search in a search like this, but you could go to a slide, you could go to a Google form, anything where there's not built-in accessibility, and you can use that to speak with your voice. And that's just super powerful. I was in a grade 3 class, and there was a student, like I said, who just wasn't good at typing, wasn't really great with writing, but I showed him the voice dictation, and he was able to write a full story in the hours with that class. And he was just so happy because he was able to do that. So that's one, the dictation.
Dictation, okay.
Maybe if you do a little, see me scrolling.
Oh, up and down here? Okay.
Yeah. There's others like larger mouse.
What? Okay, let's do this. Now, okay, let's just do it. Let's just click the, whoa, it's huge. That's awesome. It's actually kind of nice. It's actually easier on the eyes. I keep my text at super, super fine on my phone. I got all these tabs open here. And the truth is, it's nice to have everything small. But look at me, I'm squinting at my screen. But the truth is that, having a larger mouse, it is kind of relieving because I don't have to keep looking for where it is. This is huge, and I love it. This is
if it's too big, I get having a giant mouse might not be great, but you can even go into your settings and you can control more specifically how big you want your mouse to be.
Let's try that. So if I went to the settings and I typed in what? look how huge that is. If I typed in
probably input or mouse.
Let's type in mouse color. Let's just see if it hit that.
Right there, show large. There you go. And so there's your cursor. You can make it. You don't have to have it ginormous like this, but I do when as a teacher, I do like to make it a little bit bigger so my students can see where I'm clicking. So they're just normal size, and then there's a little bit bigger. And maybe you're super colorful. I know Braden is super colorful. You can, instead of having a black cursor, you can even on purple. On my Windows machine, I have a purple mouse.
Completely unrelated note. Jackson just said beans, and I think that's a cool thing to say randomly. Cool beans. Okay, so let's use it. I can change the color of the cursor here, right? So I typed in mouse. I went to the little keyboard settings there. I went to the little gear that popped up here, and then just to make it super easy for myself, I just typed in mouse and hit enter, right? And then it shows me all this mouse stuff. And so now, Darren, you're saying I can change the color, right? So I can go to. Look at that. Sometimes, you know what? Let's see here. Magenta. Hey, yeah. See, sometimes I forget what color turban I'm wearing. So I'm like, maybe I'll match today. I'm going to match my mouse with my turban today. It's not
the very last thing, Manji. We could talk forever. I think we need a 2-hour session like this.
Yeah.
But I do want to show very quickly, now that you have that menu down there too, just the power of the screencast that we have here. The last thing we're going to show, there's more accessibility. If you're in a Google Doc, you have voice typing built in. You can use this one if you're typing in slides. But if you go down to your very bottom again, and let's just get out of this accessibility. Let's just go.
Okay.
If you go to your main shelf menu and click on your Wi-Fi again,
okay,
over where your Wi-Fi is, boom, there's that screen capture. And teachers, I highly recommend that you try experimenting with this a little bit. Not only it's a keyboard shortcut, but I won't go into that. But if you click on screen capture, there's some new stuff that's like really powerful.
Look at this.
This has been updated. So let's say you have a textbook page, you want a little bit of information, and put that onto your slide. This is super, super great, where you can do a little bit of a screen capture by dragging and saving that picture. Yeah, maybe you want to remember that.
You can click capture. So it doesn't do it automatically, which is nice. It gives you a chance to kind of adjust.
Much better.
Yeah. A lot of computers, what they do is when you do a screen capture, it's a whole screen, or it's what you wanted. And if you made a mistake, it takes a picture no matter what.
And that saves right to your clipboard. So we have a textbook page, or you have something where you just want to get that little capture, image analysis part of it. That's super fun. There is one other really cool thing that this has now, and I love this for explaining things. Not only will it do pictures, but it'll do video.
So I go from the camera here to the actual video here. Is that what you're saying right here?
Yeah.
So we click that. Okay.
And then you can go to the little gear and you can turn on your microphone.
Okay, so audio input.
Yeah, your microphone you can turn on, and the front camera. And what I love about this, it's a great way for students to explain processes, science things. I wonder if it'll let you do it.
Okay. So, I've got the microphone on. I've got the front camera on.
And we have about 30 seconds to do it, but let's do it.
Okay. What do I do? Do I hit just record there?
Press the record button. I think you're going to be recording. You should do full screen instead of the selection down on the little shelf. That's
right here. Like that? Okay. Here we go. Oh, there I see myself. Okay. Ready? Here we go.
What I love, before you start, you can drag your face and you can explain specific parts. So yeah, you're going to be clicking up here. Yeah. Right there in your shelf.
Whoa. Okay, interesting. Very cool. Okay.
So teachers, I'll leave that with you. Remember, you have this slide deck. We're going to bring Michelle and Sandy back in because guess what? Someone talked too much.
That was fantastic,
right? 2 hours we had.
Amazing, you guys and students out there. The engagement in the forum has been absolutely fabulous, and the things that we're learning from all of you in the forum, amazing. I want to shout out to Kairev. Did you know you can search emojis? So if you put an emoji in your search, it gives you a search. So thank you for that, Kairev. I'm going to get the slide deck shared. We have another question for you before we go, but Sandy, I'll turn it over to you just before we get to that last question.
I'm blown away. I was hoping that I'd learn maybe one or two things, and I think in the first 10 minutes, my head was exploding. I've tried to keep a little old school notes here. I have an old sticky on my computer with things we learned last time. So I've got a few more things to add to my tool belt. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I'm glad that we'll have this recording so I can go back over it. And you know what? You gave me an idea, Michelle. I think we might want to do accessibility part 2. Maybe before the end of the school year, right? Come back and do a little bit more for our
because I really want to get into what it can do in docs and slides too.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun for that for sure.
Yes.
Okay, so then students, you have one final question to put into that form. We want to know, okay, wait a second. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel about using that Chromebook in front of you? As well, teachers, Darren mentioned it, you will get a copy of the whole slide deck, everything that Darren and Manjeet went through. Yes. They have put together in a slide deck with screenshots, so you are going to get that to your email right after this. As well, wait, there's more. There is going to be a slide in that resource that you receive. If you want to use these tools they talked about today to create cool graphics, Darren has put information in there on how you'll be able to do that. So that's coming at you. And with that, any final words, Sandy, before we say goodbye?
I just love that the students are saying, no,
Yeah.
don't leave. We
didn't say
love
no,
our time
Brenda.
with you. And I feel the same way. The hour has gone incredibly quickly. Darren and Manjit, thank you so much for teaching us these things together. And teachers, just keep trying things on, clicking, learning, sharing, collaborating with one another. It's the only way for us to move forward together. So with that, I think that it's time for us to wish you all a good day. Have fun with your Chromebook,
Thanks so
everyone.
much. Take care.
Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
take care. Bye.